Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my first mock draft. I'm going to be doing a 2-round mock draft. I haven't even really looked at the players yet. I haven't watched any film on them. I haven't watched their highlights or anything. This is just going to be going based off what I've heard, a little bit of what I've seen. I've seen some things, obviously. But the very first thing I'm going to do is have the Bears trade their first overall pick. I really don't think that the Bears are going to keep this first pick. They can get so much value out of it. And there's multiple teams. I can name at least 4 teams fighting for a quarterback in this class. You got the Texans, you got the Colts, you have the Raiders, and kind of the Seahawks. I wouldn't really say they're fighting for a quarterback, so I'm kind of wrong about saying that originally. But they do want a quarterback. I would assume, unless I guess their 31-year-old quarterback is their future. But definitely the Colts, Raiders, and the Texans will be fighting for the number 1 pick. I don't think the Bears will trade with the Texans because they're only going to swap one spot. So the Texans won't be willing to give up as much as the Colts and the Raiders would. So I'm going to go with the Colts. I think that the Bears trade with the Colts with this pick. I think that the Colts will give up some pretty good value just because they want Bryce Young. I feel like Bryce Young would fit the Colts very well. He's kind of got that, I don't know, that talent that kind of reminds me of Patrick Mahomes, but obviously I don't think he'll be Patrick Mahomes, but it kind of reminds me in a way. Here's the full trade details if you guys want to pause it and look at it. But yeah, the Colts will trade up for the 4th overall pick with the Bears. The Bears will get the 4th overall pick. The Colts get the 1st. And they're going to take Bryce Young. Like I said, Bryce Young, in a way, reminds me of Patrick Mahomes with just his ability to expand the pocket and make plays happen. So that's why I'm going to go with them. I think that's easy. Now, the Texans will still be looking for a quarterback, and that's why I think they'll go Will Levis. In a way, he reminds me of Zach Wilson a lot, just because he has the deep ball, and so did Zach Wilson. As you guys know, Zach Wilson in his pro day and the combine looked amazing, and it helped his draft stock like crazy, and that's kind of what Will Levis reminds me of. So I think he'll take a big jump in the draft process, and that's why he's going to end up number 2 with the Houston Texans. Here, the 3rd overall pick, I think the Cardinals will take Will Anderson. He's just probably the best player at the position at the pick. They won't be needing a quarterback. They got Kyler Murray, and I think they'll get Will Anderson to try to replace J.J. Watt. Will Anderson looks really good from what I've seen, and yeah, I think that's just an easy pick there. So the Bears traded with the Colts to get this 4th overall pick, and I think they get the best player available. They kind of need help everywhere, so I'm going to go with best player available and Jalen Carter. He'll really be able to help that defensive line out. Jalen Carter just looks like a beast. He literally looks like Aaron Donald out there compared to these college kids. Obviously not Aaron Donald, but he looks really good, and I think it's an obvious pick for the Bears to take Jalen Carter here. There's no one else that they would probably be willing to take at that spot. C.J. Stroud's there, but C.J. Stroud's not he's not going to go to the Chicago Bears. They already got Justin Fields. So here with the 5th pick, is the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I think the Seahawks are going to be looking to trade this pick. I think they can get value out of this pick. They can get draft capital out of this pick, especially with teams like Carolina. That's a team I didn't mention earlier. Carolina's definitely a team looking for a quarterback. I'm actually going to have Seahawks trade with the Panthers. I think the Panthers will want to jump the Raiders so that they can get C.J. Stroud, because I feel like the Raiders and the Panthers will be fighting for Stroud there a little bit later in the top 10, mid-top 10s, 5 area. So I think those 2 teams will try to trade with the Seahawks. I'm going to have the Carolina Panthers jump them. You can look at the full trade details here if you guys want to stop and look. Panthers jump the Lions and Raiders to get C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud looks really good. He's super accurate. He does have a problem with trying to run and with blitzing. If it was a 7-on-7 in the league, this guy would be the best player in the league, hands down. The Lions, I'm going to go with Brian Breesy. I think he's the best player available for the Lions. They need help on the interior defensive line. They could go cornerback there too, but I think they'll go cornerback with their later first-round pick. But with C.J. Stroud, I compare that guy to Jared Goff. That's my best comparison. C.J. Stroud, he doesn't do well with blitz, which is the same thing Stroud struggles with. Or not Stroud, Goff. Goff also struggles with blitz, so that's my comparison. You guys might call me crazy, but he is afraid to run. I don't know if he'll be like that in the NFL, obviously. Hopefully he'll get out of that. but he's kind of afraid to run, and he doesn't do well with blitz, so I compare him to Goff. You guys tell me if I'm crazy or not. So here with the 7th pick, the Raiders, it's a tough choice. They can go Paris Johnson and work on that offensive line. There's no quarterbacks here worth taking at this point. All of the good quarterbacks have been taken. So the Raiders are kind of getting left out. So I could definitely see them going Myles Murphy, Tyree Wilson, Paris Johnson. At the end of the day, I'm going to go Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson just looks really good. He looks like a solid, good edge rusher that can really make some noise in the league. And I think he's just the best value at the pick number 7. Tyree Wilson has some freakishly long arms from like watching him play. Now his arm length might not actually end up being like that, but he's able to fill the gaps on run plays, and his arm length looks good enough to be able to force strip fumbles like that, where he looked pretty far away from the quarterback actually, but he was still able to make the play. With the 8th pick, I got the Falcons going Myles Murphy. Myles Murphy looks pretty good. My biggest concern with Myles Murphy is his bend. From watching him, from the very little bit I've watched him, like I said, I haven't seen really much plays, but from the very little bit of watching him, it just doesn't look like he really has a bend, but he's freakishly fast. He looks really fast off the snap. So once again, a really good pick there for the Falcons, but hopefully he has a little bit of a better bend than I've seen from my first impression. I could be wrong. Like I said, I haven't seen a whole lot. This is my very first impression mock draft. Here to pick 9, I actually can't see really anybody the Seahawks will be worth like wanting to pick here. Now, I think the Seahawks are going to once again trade. I think they can get a lot of capital once again off of trading a little bit further back with a team like the Patriots. And the Patriots will be able to get a wide receiver. They can jump the Eagles, they can jump the Titans, the Texans, all teams that could honestly take a receiver. Probably not the Eagles so much, but the other 2 teams could definitely look receiver. So also the Jets, they could also look receiver. Garrett Wilson's kind of really their only thing right now, but yeah, I think the Patriots are going to want to trade up with the Seahawks here so they can get a receiver. Like I said with the other picks, they look good, but there are some concerning things that I've seen from my first look. Obviously, here are all the trade details. But yeah, I can make a more in-depth video of these players when I go and watch them. If you guys want, just let me know. But here, with the Patriots pick, I have them going Jordan Addison. I think they'll go Jordan Addison here. He looks really good. His just route running looks clean. He looks quick. And call me crazy, I don't know, but I would compare him to Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's 2 Lions players I've compared already, but he's from USC too. His route running reminds me of St. Brown, and I feel like he could do really well in the slot with the Patriots. Here with the 10th pick, I got the Eagles going Bijan Robinson. They have Miles Sanders, obviously, so they wouldn't necessarily need him. But I believe that the fit is there, and once again, the Eagles are just trying to improve their team. So with the Titans pick, I took Paris Johnson Jr. I feel like he'll fit best with the Titans. They need an offensive line help a little bit, and he is the best offensive lineman. I mean, you could argue it could be Peter Skoronski. It's really going to depend on how they do. I still have to watch film on these players, so I can't really make a judgment yet. But here are the Texans. They are once again on the clock. I could definitely see them going wide receiver here, like Quinton Johnston. Jackson Smith and Jigba is an option there. But overall, I'm going to take Quinton Johnston. I think they need the receiver help, especially if Brandon Cooks is gone. So I'm taking best wide receiver available there. It could be Jackson Smith and Jigba. It's close, but that's who I'm taking. Peter Skoronski is my pick with the Jets. Good fit. Need offensive line help. Seahawks, I'm taking Anthony Richardson. He's the best quarterback available. I think they want a younger quarterback that they can develop. I still think Geno's their starter next year, but I think they're going to take Anthony Richardson and have him develop next year behind Geno Smith. Next up is the Packers. You can really go quite a bit of different ways. You can go receiver with Njigba. They already got Christian Watson, so maybe not so much. Tight end is definitely my favorite pick right here, just because they do need the tight end help. Tanyan is probably not the answer long term, so I'm taking Michael Mayer. He could be a generational tight end. I don't know. I haven't seen him at all, actually, so I'm taking the best tight end available there. Next up is Washington. Definitely going with cornerback. I think Joey Porter Jr. will fit the team best. They always go Big Ten players, so it just makes sense to me. Here, the Steelers, they can go Keely Ringo. Broderick Jones is definitely another option at offensive line. They do need the offensive line help. But I think Keely Ringo's, they're going to just take best available player with Keely Ringo. Lions here, definitely going quarterback. It can be between Christian Gonzalez and Cam Smith. And actually, even Devon Witherspoon, but I'm going with Christian Gonzalez. Cam Smith to the Bucks. Just both teams working on their cornerback situation there. That's like 4 cornerbacks in a row, geez. So the Seahawks here, they took their quarterback. They're going to go cornerback. I have them getting Devon Witherspoon, so that's another cornerback taken there. Here with the Jaguars pick, the Jaguars need help in the defense a little bit. They need wide receiver help. They can go in Jigba, but I mean they got Zay Jones, who's still somewhat young. They still have Christian Kirk, who's still pretty young. They have solid players. I'm gonna go Brian Branch. I think Brian Branch might be the best option there, just to help their defense. Their defense didn't look too hot at times this year. Jackson Smith and Jigba is an easy pick for me with the Giants. They need wide receiver help. They have almost nobody. Kenny Galladay is getting paid millions of dollars for no reason. I'm a Lions fan, so I'm actually happy we didn't sign him back after his performance he's been having. Here with the Ravens pick, we can go different places. We can go cornerback here. Definitely could go quarterback if there was a quarterback available, but I don't think a quarterback's going to be available. I think Lamar is done there, honestly. So it's too early for me to pick quarterback, just because right now it's not a need. As long as he's on the team, it's not a need. So I'm going to go cornerback with Clark Phillips here. Alright, so the next pick here is the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm kind of stuck on this one. They can go offensive tackle. I kind of feel like their offensive tackle is pretty solid enough, so I would kind of be surprised. Receiver is an option. They have been kind of getting hurt, though. That's kind of why the receivers haven't been doing too hot. But when they're healthy, the receivers are good. Yeah, they're kind of in a tough spot here with what's available. They can definitely go like offensive line, linebacker. I feel like they're fine there. Interior offensive line, they're good. They were just kind of banged up. Let's see if we can get maybe any trades, possibly, maybe. I don't know. You know what? Yeah, is there any trades? I don't know who they would even want. Who would want to trade up for an offensive lineman? Take Broderick Jones. The Lions might want to trade up and get a linebacker. They're asking for a lot. That is so much for that pick. Yeah, I don't think no. I think here that's just so much they're asking for. They're asking for so much like in return. I don't know. Any other team, maybe the Colts. Maybe the Colts want to trade back up. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to go Broderick Jones here. It's kind of a tough spot for them. So you guys tell me what you guys think will be a good spot for them there. But I think offensive line is probably their best. So the Cowboys, it says their needs are cornerback, wide receiver, linebacker, running back. Now, I'm going to disagree with running back. They got Tony Pollard that they'll probably re-sign. Jalen Hyatt might be nice here, but they do have CeeDee Lamb. Running back, I don't know. They have Tony Pollard. Safety's definitely an option. Trenton Simpson's an option. I think, yeah, I'm going to go Trenton Simpson. You guys tell me if that's stupid or not. I just don't know. That was a tough pick for me, honestly. Bengals here. I'm going to say offensive line. I think they go with the Ohio State guy. Keep him in Ohio. DeJuan Jones. He's a huge offensive lineman. I think that's who they'll take. The Vikings here. The Vikings, it says they need receiver. I think they're fine. Edge rusher is definitely... I think edge rusher is definitely one that I'm going to be looking at. And Nolan Smith is my option there for the Vikings. They need help with their defense. Obviously, their defense kind of sucked this year. I got Anton Harrison from Oklahoma heading to Denver. They need the offensive line help. They could not protect Russell Wilson to save their life last year. Bills, there's some different options here that you can go for with the Bills. Safety is who I'm going to go with, Antonio Johnson from Texas A&M. He's my favorite guy there. The Chiefs, I think B.J. Ojolari would be the best fit there with the Chiefs. So I'm going to go actually Jalen Hyatt's who I'm going to go with the Chiefs. The Eagles, I'm going to take B.J. Ojolari. Yep, B.J. Ojolari. And then finally, I got the Steelers taking Osiris Torrance. You guys let me know what you agree with and what you disagree with. Of course, I will make another part after I watch some film, and later in the off season I'll make another part. So you guys tell me if you agree, what you don't agree with, and like and follow for more. I'll definitely have part 2 out in probably a month or 2, I would say. I don't know. But tell me what you agree with, tell me what you disagree with, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.